Hello and welcome to another episode of The Average EV. Today I'm going to be giving my review and impressions of my brand new 2024 Chevrolet Equinox EV. Let's get into it. All right everyone, so if you've been following my channel, you know I just purchased a 2024 Chevrolet Equinox EV. This is replacing my Tesla that I had temporarily and also my Hyundai Kona Electric. So those are the cars I've kind of had. I've also driven the Volkswagen ID4, which is currently my wife's car. So I have a pretty good base of knowledge when it comes to EVs. So what I wanted to do was flip the camera around, show everyone the outside, show everyone the inside, give my driving impressions, and then kind of give my first initial thoughts after owning the car for really only a day or two. So let's go ahead, flip the camera around and take a look at the Chevy Equinox. Everyone, this is also a really good time to remind you to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I'm going to be doing a lot of content about the Chevy Equinox EV and you're not going to miss out on it. I should be having a charge curve video, which is really interesting and kind of frustrating, and you're going to want to see it. So let's go ahead and get into the exterior of the car. So here is the 2024 Chevrolet Equinox EV. I got it in black, and I also have the 3LT trim, but when I can, I'll kind of talk about what's on 3LT, 2LT, 1LT as I remember. But again, I have the 3LT, so that's kind of what I have to go base off of. So first thing I want to talk about are the wheels. Here we've got 21-inch wheels. The 1LT and 2LT are going to come with 19-inch wheels, but what's interesting is allegedly these cars have the same range, and that is in the fact that this is a bigger wheel, but it has a smaller profile, whereas the other two cars have a smaller wheel, but a bigger profile, and basically they have the same diameter. I do believe that these tires are a little bit wider, so theoretically this should have a little bit less range, but I'm not sure how big a difference that change in width is really going to make with those cars. So moving to the front here, we have the whatever you want to call a grille. It's kind of like a diamond pattern. For the 3LT and I believe also the 2LT, we have a light bar that runs across. And actually I found that during charging, these actually go with a blue light. I'll go ahead and overlay some video of that I took earlier. But the light bar is very nice, but that does not come on the 1LT trim. You can see these ultrasonic sensors that are all around the car that are used for all the safety assist features and adaptive cruise control and stuff like that. Here we can see the Equinox logo, which is different than the regular Equinox logo, mainly because the E is the kind of Ultium battery looking thing. You can see we've got this chrome trim. It's growing on me. It does kind of remind me a little bit of my wife's Nissan Rogue that had chrome trim. But again, if blacked out would be nice, but I didn't really love the interior of the RS trim, which is why I didn't go with the RS trim. We do have roof rails. The 1LT is not going to have roof rails, so I guess that helps cut costs. And I'll try and talk about all the things that are different between those. Moving back here, we have the rear. It's an interesting looking rear. It's very Venza-ish, if you will, where it kind of like scoops out. But I don't hate it. It's not the worst, not the best. Moving on, again, we have these the rear tail lights. Got some clear, got some red. It's also worth noting that I believe it was here. I took some video of it. Goes do 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 do, or maybe it was here, or maybe it was all the way across. As you charge, which is an interesting little thing. Not quite like the Rivian where it shows state of charge, but it's cool, I guess. I thought this was an interesting texture choice, but whatever. I guess it's nice to give a little bit of contrast, but it's not my cup of tea. It does come with a rear windshield wiper, which is very important to have, at least in my opinion. And then the rear backup camera does have a cleaner. So that's nice. Let me try that again. A cleaner, which is nice. So keep that clean. If it gets a little bit of dirt, maybe during winter time, something like that pops up. So that is basically the exterior of the vehicle. All right, everyone, we'll start with the auto sense liftgate. It'll sense you, it'll beep 3 times. As long as you stay here, it'll then open. Oh, I wasn't close enough, there we go. And then it opens, pretty nice. Didn't have to use any hands. And then if you want to close it, you'll go ahead and press this button here. But first, let's check in the interior. Here's my backpack. Let me go to 0.5, get a little bit better perspective. So nothing here, flat, definitely a little bit shorter, it feels like to me, than the Volkswagen ID4. You do have a cutout here, but it's not as deep as the ID4. You can pull this up here, and you have a pretty decent space. This is much bigger than the subfloor, sub-trunk, whatever you want to call it, of the Volkswagen ID4. That's what I'm keep talking about because that's my frame of reference. This is the charger that did come included with the car. It is a 32 amp charger. There's that, and that's nice because not a lot of manufacturers are including chargers nowadays. There's some space here for other features, or I'm sure you could just kind of put some stuff flat. It's about, I don't know, about, you see that? About 1 hand worth of height, so you can put something there. All right, let's go ahead and close that. It does have 60/40 folding seats, so you can pop that there, push that down. You can see I have a car seat that's tethered. But there's that. I'll push that up when I get back to the other side. And there, that closes. Here we have our handles, which pop out when you get to the car. If you pull on the rear ones, they won't unlock. You have to grab the front. Of course, you grab the front, it will unlock it, and then you can grab it. That time it just unlocked for me, which is nice. Go ahead and put that back up. And here's our rear. In a bit, I'll do a seat test, but for now, I'm just gonna show the inside. I did choose the Sky Cool Gray, which is really much, it's like a white. I actually like it. I think it gives a nice contrast, helps it keep a little bit cooler. That also goes onto the door here, and this is a little bit soft touch, not the most cushy, but it's all right. Then you have your open, and you have your window, and you have, I love this, old school door lock. Hold on, let me get the key. Lock, unlock, lock, unlock. I love that. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. And then as you can see, we can fit a car seat in here, which is nice. And this comes down with cup holders if anyone would want to put their drinks there. Really nice. Since we have the car seat in there, I'll show that on the side there is another set of ISOFIX, which is great. So you can put that in there and have 2 car seats at the same time if you wanted to. And then let me go ahead and sit inside. We have some air vents right here. And for the 3LT only, I'm pretty sure you have heated rear seats. And I do believe both trims have these USB-C ports that are down here as well. Seat mat pocket. We've got overhead light, which you push. There we go. And there's grab handles. So I know a lot of people actually talk about asking if there are grab handles because they have maybe elderly parents or something like that. Boom, you've got grab handles, which would make it very easy for them to get out. And then here in the middle, this headrest does actually pop up, which is nice. And I'm not sure how it goes back down. So I'm gonna leave it up. All right. So let's actually go to the passenger seat. Now, since this is the 3LT, it has the power seats here. The 2LT does not come with that, and I'm certain that the 1LT won't come with that for either car. But there it is. You've got front, back, up, down, change the back, and then you've got your lumbar here. And again, we got lots of traditional buttons, latch, window, and then inside. I like that all the little cubbies, I can't get that one out, but they have little things that can come out. I'm gonna have to get something to get it out, which is really nice. We have a glove box. I know people love to know about the glove box. So there's that. And then I'll show you here. We have a little under storage area, which I actually use a lot. And it has this that pulls out, which is nice so you can clean it in case you make a mess there. And then let's go ahead and hop into the driver's seat. I'm actually gonna reposition my car just in case anyone drives by and is like wondering what this guy's doing. But I will show, here's the charge port, opens up, pulls out. It's kind of weird how it aligns. I feel like it should have been on the other side, but whatever. There you've got your J1772 and then your DC pins. This will go in there. It's actually very easy to take off, so I very well might do so eventually. And then there is a light right here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there it is. And so that'll help a little bit at nighttime if you're trying to plug in, and then you just push it back in. It closes. Very nice. So let's go ahead and hop in the car. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop in the car. I am 6'1". I'm sitting behind myself and I have easily 3-4 inches of room, plenty. My feet go under, very comfortable back here. Haven't really spent a lot of time back here. Yeah, it's not bad. I could ride back here and I'd be okay. Not too bad. And headroom, it's a little closer on this side than on this side. Here I've got a tight fist, maybe 4 fingers. Yeah, 4 fingers again, tight. There we go, 3 fingers. Yeah, so about four fingers, if you will, of fists. So it's not the worst, not the best. If it's like younger kids or teens are gonna be great, or anyone who's probably 6 foot or shorter, they won't have too much of an issue with the headroom. So now we're actually gonna hop into the driver's seat and we're gonna check out the interior, the infotainment, and some other things. I thought of one more thing before I, oh sorry, the car beeped. I thought of one more thing before I got in the car. Actually, I was gonna show you all that's right, just a regular hood. There it is, the front motor, all the high voltage cabling going in. Right here is where you would change your washer fluid if you'd want to do that. And then pretty much the rest you just leave alone and leave that to technicians if you ever have to go in. It is nice, it has automatic struts there, but whatever. So if you want to close it, you literally just close it and it goes. So that's nice. And if you were wondering how you would open it, if you wanted to open it, so let me show you the handle. So you pull, it did it again. Usually you pull, it unlocks, you pull it again, it opens. But if you would want to open the hood, you pull this once, twice, and then it unlatches. All right, so I'm gonna reposition the car and then talk about the interior. Here is the interior of the car. We have our, I believe it's like 10 or 11 inch driver's display, our 17.7 center console infotainment display, if you will. On the left here, you've got your windshield wiper and lights and turn signal. Here you've got your drive selector. Got a bunch of buttons on the front. And again, if you go ahead, subscribe and follow and put the notifications on, I'm gonna do a full driver walkthrough with everything, all the buttons and how everything works. So this is just a quick overview, but here's all your cruise control stuff. If you choose to equip it, here is your Super Cruise, and this is the Super Cruise kind of light bar right there. Here we've got your voice assistant. You can choose between Alexa and Google. Your music options. This is to change the displays you have up. Actually, here, I do want to show this. I really like this Google Map integration, but it only works for Google Maps. You can't use any of your other maps. But you will get turn-by-turn directions from your Google, from any map up on your driver information center right here on the right side, which is nice. And I go back to the display I just like this one because it's got state of charge, and then has power. So it has power out, power in, which is really nice. And then right here, you'll actually see your cruise control speed. So there is that. Right here, you'll see a little paddle. Reminds me of my Kona. This is for your regenerative braking. So you pull that and it'll slow you down. I'll talk a little bit more about the regenerative braking later. Here you have a physical park button, but it will automatically park if it feels like it needs to. Lane centering, auto hold, open the rear, and then adjust brightness. And then I don't know if this is going to show very well, but right here, there's buttons on this side like this, And then on the other side, I'm not gonna show because it's kind of hard to find. And those are for, on the left side, that's for your track selection. So next, next and go back. And then on the right, you have volume up and down. I actually really like that, but if you don't like turning the volume that way, you can certainly come right over here and you can twist this knob and change the volume. Okay, you can see that there, which is nice. Physical buttons. So before we move to the center area, we have our seat memory. The 3LT does come with seat memory, and the seat memory is attached to key fob. So currently I have key fob 1, which is attached to seat 1. I've set that. My wife will she still hasn't driven it yet. She'll eventually set hers to 2, and when she walks in, the car will automatically adjust to her seat, which is really nice. And then the third one, which I didn't know about, but this is a thing, you can set the exit. So if you want easy entry, you can go into the infotainment, set that up, and set your exit position. Maybe you want it to scoot back a little bit and get a little higher, or get a little bit more down. And if you want to exit, you just click that. Or you can actually set it to auto switch to your exit setting when the door opens, which is a pretty cool feature. And then of course your lock, unlock. All the windows, 4 window switches for my ID4 people. And then you have your window, side view mirror adjust. My brain's working. Here we got some air vents. This black thing here, people have talked about it. You can actually, I don't know if you can see it in the video. You can kind of see it in the windshield. It doesn't bother me too much because I wear polarized glasses, but I do see it when I take off my polarized glasses. So if you wear, polarized sunglasses. So if you have polarized sunglasses, it will help with that. Oh, and then here is additional sensors for Super Cruise, so that is safe. Here's the horn. Let's hear it. Ready? Ooh, that's a nice horn. Let me do that one more time. Yeah, it is dual tone. Look at them. All right, moving to the center console area. This is kind of interesting. So in here, I don't know if you all can see it very well. It looks like it's a wireless charging pad. It's not, but what's cool is it's an air-conditioned area for your phone. So if you look in there, it blows cold air on the phone and cools it, which is cool. I thought at first it was wireless charging, but I was unable to get that to work. So I think it's just a little air conditioner for your phone, which is nice. So having my phone to record all these videos, it gets hot, I throw it down there, it cools down, and it's really nice. But this is a nice area to store stuff. You got 2 USB-C here. This area here, and this comes out too, by the way. But this area I'm gonna put you in because you're on my, there it is. It perfectly fits the 15 Pro Max without a case. Yeah, I know I'm a little bit crazy not having a case, but it does fit there. And you got 2 cup holders. They have these little bubbles to kind of adjust the cups. So I haven't had any issues with holding any cups that I like. And does this come out or am I breaking it? Sorry, consumer advice. It does come out. So if you wanted to clean it, you can pull that out, I guess, or maybe don't. Maybe that's risky what I just did. In the event that maybe your key fob dies, this is the area that you would put your key to start your car in an emergency. Here, let me get this out of the way. Here we have our center console storage area. Let me get that out of there. So this, it's pretty small, pops out, and then you have another area. Neither are big. There's a little light down there. Doesn't help too much, but it's good enough. It's not class leading for sure, but it is good enough. I would definitely say the Volkswagen ID4 is a little bit better. And I think that's a pretty comprehensive tour of the inside. Here you do have some buttons for OnStar, SOS, Hazard, whether you have the airbag on, turn this light on, turn this light off. And then you can see we have the ventilated, perforated seats. The ventilated seats only come on the 3LT trims. If you want those, you'll have to option up. I enjoy them. Now remember, they're not cooled seats, they're just ventilated, so it blows air, but it generally feels cool and nice. One thing I want to talk about, I don't know if the video does it justice, but this blue color, I actually hated, and maybe some of you heard in my other videos, I did not like. And it looks really nice in person. So that has grown on me, and I hope it grows on you too. One thing I wanted to talk about are the surfaces, generally pretty good. This is soft touch, hard plastic. I feel like there's soft touch where there needs to be, and then hard plastic where you would expect it to be. I don't love the look of this hard plastic up top there, and it's also a little shiny. It would have been probably nice for them to have something dull to help keep from reflecting that light up there. I also thought it was very interesting to have this little, you know, I guess this would be the B pillar, and have this little piece of glass in there that no one's ever gonna look through. Maybe the passenger will look through. I don't know, but there's that. Oh, and of course, people want to know. These are kind of dim colored, which is interesting. So there's that. I'm gonna go ahead and flip. Oh, sorry, I have one more thing. One more thing. So the center infotainment. I didn't even talk about this. This is a big deal. I like it. It's pretty customizable. I'm not going to go too deep into it because I'm going to do a whole infotainment video. But one thing I do want to bring up are these buttons. I feel like there could have been a better place. And if you've heard anyone talk about it with Altium, so like, let me see if I can get my driver's view. There's my driver's view, and you can see they're blocked. So I kind of have to like look to find them. Now I'm not always using them. The controls is in duplicate. The only one that's really probably important are lights on and off are there, and that's the only place you can access them, I'm pretty sure. Well, you either press them there or you have to go through a couple menus to do it. So you don't want to do that, so you just want to press that button. And these buttons do change based on, you know, what you're doing. So here I'm in park, so I have those buttons. As soon as I put into drive, you'll see a button that the car doesn't think important, go away. And I click park, and that pops up. So there's that. It's pretty responsive. I do notice when it's a little bit hot, it's a little bit slower, but it's still pretty responsive. A lot of options. Apps are pretty easy to install. I think it actually comes with Spotify and Waze already built in. I added Plugshare. There is a better route planner app as well. But setting these up were pretty easy. There's a QR code, you scan the QR code, and then you sign in on your phone. Pretty nice. Here's this. And then here are the cameras. People were ragging on them. I don't think they're terrible, but whatever. I mean, they could be higher quality. I'm not gonna say they're the best quality. They could be higher quality. I do agree with what some reviewers said, that this picture could certainly be bigger, but I will show you one thing I figured out. If you turn off top down, you do get a little bit bigger of a rear camera if you want that. But I like having the top down, so. And there's the front, there's the back, and you can do overhead, front, overhead, back, side, your hitch, and side there. So lots of options. I'm gonna go with standard. I actually kind of like that overhead a little bit. I'll go standard for now. There's that. You've got lots of duplicate stuff. So you got your climate here, and then you've also got climate buttons down here. So this thing will change the climate there. Okay, but you could also change it here if you want. Here's the ventilated seat, heated seat, AC, recirculate. If you want auto, this I couldn't figure out how to turn this to auto. Yeah, I couldn't figure it out up here, but you just come down here and you click auto, and it will go to auto, but that's a little too loud if you all want to hear me, so I'll turn that back off. Can adjust things down there, and then my Google login and stuff like that. So I think that's a pretty good basic overview of the infotainment there. I'm gonna do a video where I dig way deeper. I'm gonna go through every little menu and show everybody every menu. And then I'm gonna do even more videos where I just talk about charging. I just talk about drive modes. I just talk about auto park assist. I just talk about whatever, just so people can get their questions answered that they might have. Now we're gonna go on the road. I already shot this actually, if I'm being candid, and do some driving impressions. Hopefully I touch everything you're interested in. If you want to know more about driving impressions, just leave a comment down below. You know, when you're driving, you can't think about everything because you want to be safe, obviously, first. But just drop those comments down below. It's worth noting that I really doubt that the 1LT is going to be able to have Super Cruise optionable, but I could be wrong. But I'm going to guess it's probably not going to be available. So everyone, you join me here inside of the Equinox on the road, and I'm going to give some of my driving impressions. So first off, I am using Super Cruise right now, which is working extremely well. Again, Super Cruise is a hands-off system, so here you can see my hands are right here, and it's driving perfectly well. This will also do automatic lane change, and it'll move you back over. This is a very courteous system, unlike FSD on Teslas, where it will kind of ride in the left lane for a long time. It'll come back over. However, it will do that to a fault, where it will go over and then come back over, and then go over and come back over, and then sometimes it'll go over when it probably shouldn't go over, but it does. And then so I would watch out with that. I'm going to do a whole Super Cruise video, but I will right off the bat say right now, sometimes when it goes to do the automatic lane change, and a car in the other lane is coming up fast, the car doesn't really speed up enough to get in front of that car. So you have to help it out a little bit with the accelerator pedal. Hopefully that's something Chevy can fix with some sort of update or something like that. But I don't know, it's not my preference. So I'm going to turn Super Cruise off, and I'm going to turn off adaptive cruise control, and I'm just going to take full control of the car. So right now, yeah, I mean, it just feels solid. There's not a lot of sway, which is really enjoyable. The lane keep assist is not very good. So it does not have lane centering, but has lane keep assist. That does not work the best. And that's really all I have to say about that. The Kona was much better. Here, I'll show you all. If I kind of like let it drift over, it should bounce me back. It did bounce me back. That's actually the best time I've ever seen it happen. So maybe it's getting better. Maybe it's learning how I'm driving. Probably not. Maybe I wasn't in the best scenario when I was testing it before. But so there's that. As far as accelerating, from a stop, it's okay, but still it's pretty lethargic. I will say when you get closer to the upper speeds with this car, it is not the best at passing. That I've noticed that a little bit. It's good enough. If you turn it onto sport mode, it's a little bit better, but definitely not as good as the ID4 when it comes to passing speed, or the Tesla that I had for that matter, or the Kona for that matter. But that's fine. As far as the cabin, I find it to be very quiet and enjoyable to be in. I find the suspension wonderful. It's, I would say, on par with the ID4. I wouldn't say better, wouldn't say worse. I would say they're pretty much the same, which is good. Going back to the road noise, it's about the same as the ID4. I was almost thinking for a little bit it might be a little bit quieter, and that might be true. But yeah, they're both pretty similar as far as noise level is concerned, which is good. You don't hear a lot of road noise, maybe a little bit, mostly wind is what I'm hearing as I drive. So as far as other things about driving, the adaptive cruise control works really well. When it comes to a stop with a car in front of it, it feels very natural, just like the Tesla autopilot system always did. I always felt really confident in that system to slow me down if I was actively using it. However, with the Volkswagen ID4 and Travel Assist, never felt confident enough to actually use that to come to a complete stop. But I would say for the Equinox EV, you can certainly trust the adaptive cruise control. So those are just a few things that I thought people might care about. So again, if you want to know anything more, just leave a comment down below or send me a message, and I will certainly get back to you. So now I'm just going to do my final thoughts here in the video about the 2024 Chevrolet Equinox EV. So generally what I have to say about it is that it is a really nice car. I think the 2LT will be a nice car as well. And if you're interested in the 1LT, it's going to be like this, but it's going to be decontented a lot. Like, it's not going to have Super Cruise. It's not going to have the power seats. It's not going to have heated steering wheel. I doubt it's going to have the phone air conditioner, but I could be wrong about that. I'm trying to think of what other thing. It's just going to have cloth seats. There's going to be a lot of differences, but it's still going to be a nice car. You're still going to have the same basic platform. Before I move on to a couple negative things that I want to talk about, I do want to talk about, I guess, some misinformation going on around the 1LT trim. Some people are saying there's not going to be a 17.7-inch screen in. There's not going to be as big a battery. I did reach out to Chevrolet, and I got a response from Chevrolet, and it's going to be the exact same battery pack the exact same charging speeds and the exact same infotainment screen, just like it says on their website. I don't know where people were getting these thoughts from, but their websites always said the 1LT was going to have the same screen and the same charging and the same battery. So I don't know, but I did want to tell everyone I did my due diligence. I reached out to Chevrolet. They responded and they said that I was correct, that there will be the exact same infotainment. All the infotainment will be exactly the same, and that it will have the exact same battery pack, not a smaller battery pack. That awesome 319-mile range. Hopefully, we'll see. I think it's gonna be 290, 300 real world at 70 miles per hour, but I haven't done my range test. That's my guess at this point in time. Now I want to talk about a few negative things with this car. The first negative thing is the charging performance. It's not good. I hopefully will have the charge curve video out today, the same day this video goes out, or a little bit after, and it's just not good enough. I'm not going to say what it is, but it needs to be improved. If it's anything like the Cadillac Lyriq scenario, it's a software update can fix it and improve the charging performance. The Cadillac Lyriq had the same kind of issue. They pushed out an update and it fixed it generally. I feel like it took them maybe 10 or 15 minutes off the charge time. And that needs to be done. I'm going to keep kind of trying to reach out to Chevrolet to see if they're working on it, if they have, I don't exactly know how everything works there, if they're all one thing or if they like share notes, but hopefully that Cadillac can share notes with how they improve the charging performance for the Lyriq, because this car certainly needs it if it's going to be road trippable. Another thing that's just not great about this car, and I didn't show you all, but I'm going to do a whole video about the route planning, is the route planning is not great in my opinion. You need to know what to select, and you have to do a lot of setting adjustments, and then even then it still picks it doesn't pick the best charger and try to optimize your road trip. But if you generally don't care, it will get you there for sure. So just be on the lookout on the video I do about the navigation to kind of optimize it, so you hopefully don't take a million years getting somewhere because it keeps sending you to a 62 kilowatt charger along your route. Now I'm just going to wrap the video up. Hopefully I was able to give you a decent tour and perspective about the car after me having it for really just 2 days. But I've done a lot of I've already done about 540 miles of driving in it, so I have a pretty good idea and impression of it. I've done 2 charge tests so far, so I have a pretty good idea about that. Please be on the lookout for that video. It is coming. It is interesting. It is disappointing, but I don't want to scare people away. I think they're going to fix it. It's just we have to be patient and we have to continually communicate to Chevrolet so that they improve it. Why they would release a car with that kind of charging performance in 2024, not quite sure. But anyways, hopefully I got everything you were interested in. If not, leave it down in the comments below. Be on the lookout for a bunch of videos that are coming out soon. I don't even know if I have enough time to shoot all these videos, so I'll do my best to try and get them done when I can. So if you could just be patient with me, that would be wonderful. And that is all I have. So thanks again for watching. If you have not already, please give a like, a subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on X for all sorts of behind the scenes information. And I will catch you all next time.